Ahoy there, me hearties. This be Captain Silverhook, and you're listening to the Two Old Pirates podcast. Set sail for an open sea of stories, tales, and some really crazy stuff. I expect you to like and subscribe, lest you be walking the plank.
Hey, this is Eric with the Two Old Pirates, and guess who I'm here with?
Vinny.
And we're here to go ahead and cover this past season, Season 4. We actually had, I believe it was 34 episodes that podcast episodes that we put up. Some were just old videos, some were new things. We didn't get to have Vinny in as many this past year. I think you were in 7 out of 34.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when, people are busy and stuff. So the thing is, remember, he's still always constant on his YouTube site, which is Gatorbox, which has, 1.73 thousand followers now?
Something
I looked
like
the other
that,
day,
yeah.
so he's closing in on the 2K.
Yeah.
Big
Just
money,
about.
making big money over
Oh,
here. He's
yeah.
just banking. But we want to go and look back on the 34 episodes, and if you are just following us now or you've never seen any of these videos, you might want to go to YouTube and go back, scroll down through and find these, because some of these are actually pretty interesting, we thought, and some got a good traction with the viewers and some did not. So we're going to go through them. There's 34 of them. And we're not going to take a long time out of your day and stuff, but we really appreciate you guys watching, and we're about to start Season 5, which will be coming up soon after this. So we really hope that you guys will go ahead and subscribe. We're trying to get to 700 subscribers. But we started off the year, Season 4, with an old video that I'd made way back when I was like 19 or 20, where we recorded ourselves as through the eyes of a killer who goes into a house and gets a knife, and it's called Piece of Cake. And it takes about 3 or 4 minutes, and it's got this soundtrack. The music behind it was a song by Pink Floyd way back in the mid to early 70s. So it's got this driving beat, and it builds the tension and stuff. So you have to watch it to see what happens at the end. No skipping forward or streaming forward and stuff. You watch the whole thing. Then I dove into the new season, and I did an episode on the first big rap artist of all time. So if you really like rap and you're into Drake or anything like that, you got to start at the beginning where the base was founded, and I go over some of the really intricate, interesting characters that started rap music with what we know now and how it's changed and evolved over time. So if you like rap music, you should check out that episode.
Then you have the true story of your friend Charlie that was murdered.
Yeah, that's a true story. And this is the first time that I think we kind of really got into like true crime.
Yeah. And
I told the story about where I grew up, the neighborhood that I grew up, that a guy that I was good friends with played Little League soccer, and he played Little League baseball and stuff, that the unfortunate murder of him that I did not find out for several years, but that I was the pallbearer at his funeral, but I did not find out technically what had happened for several years and stuff. But it's a true story. You should check that out. It's a kind of heartbreaking story. Then we did an interesting one that I thought would gain more traction, and it was called The Death of Christianity in the United States. And I go over actual facts. This is not my beliefs or anything like that. These are actual facts about how Christianity is slowly sliding amongst Americans, about people that go to church, people that say that they actually believe. And I give a statistical background to what is happening to Christianity in the United States and about how it's not as powerful and as popular as it used to be.
Yep. Then after that, we had the Christmas special.
Yeah, we did a special Christmas special. Do you remember some of the things that we covered in there?
We talked about like Home Alone.
We did Home Alone. I think we covered some of the other favorite movies.
Yeah, Christmas Story.
Yeah, and we might have ragged on like Eggnog or something like that.
Or Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did tag team numbers 200 through 101 on the Rolling Stone Top 200 Singers.
And we got a lot of views on this one because I think a lot of people have their own favorite singers and they want to see where singers fell in the range and stuff. I took part 2 for that. Vinny was not able to be in part 2, so I finished up the second part of that in our next episode, and we got from 100 down to 1, and that was pretty interesting. Then I had a little bit of time on my hands, and I searched back through some lost videos, and I found a very, very rare video from about 91 that I found, and it's of the lost Beatles video. Remember, there's only 3 Beatles left at the time in 1991 because John Lennon was shot in 1980. So if you want to scroll back through, it's a very, very unique video of the Lost Beatles video. I think if you're a Beatles fan or a music fan, it's interesting for you. It's only, 2 or 3 minutes long. And if you haven't seen it, it's something that you'll really enjoy. I think that you'll really get a kick out of it. The next episode that we did was one that I called Murder That Changed Rockport Forever. And it's a story of a murder that happened here out on the beach, and that's why they closed the beach and they started charging to get on the beach, and it wasn't open 24 hours anymore. And I break it down all the way to what happened that night and what caused Rockport to legitimately change. If you're a person who's only lived in Rockport 5, 10, 15 years, this happened about 36 years ago, 35 years ago. And so up until that point, Rockport had been a certain way, and after that night, it changed forever. All right. Then the next one that I did, it was a short one, is the worst movies ever ranked by like Internet Movie Database or something.
Oh, yeah.
And these are movies that like just could not make any money, and people looked at them and said, why were these movies even put together?
Yeah,
They're
big
horrible
bombs.
stuff. So if you're interested in movies, you might want to go back and check that and see why they were so bad. The next one is one that you can talk about it.
Yeah, this is the one that kind of caught fire. The death at Cinema 35 here in Rockport. Eric posted that video and then went to bed and woke up the next day, and there was like 900 views on it. So he was like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we're a small podcast. This guy's done really, really well over on his channel, but on our channel, we just little bitty things here and there. And I posted it one night around 10 o'clock. Woke up the next morning with all these notifications, and I looked, and it had like 900 views in like 7 hours. It's a true story about a death that happened in front of our old movie theater here in Rockport about 40 years ago. Next one, we decided to sit here together and decide to make a new commercial for our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And we saw this kind of funny guy who dresses up as a doctor, and he has a green screen behind him and stuff. And so I sent him some stuff from an old movie from the 80s with Steve Martin called The Man with Two Brains. And so if you click on our YouTube channel, you'll see a commercial up at the top with a guy looking like a doctor, and that's Dr. Hafar. And he'll explain to you about the Two Old Pirates.
And then we did the After Hours special with Eric and Vinny, which is more of a risque set of stories.
Yeah,
and
we're pretty clean-cut guys on
Yeah.
here. We rarely even cuss or anything like that, but we decided, why not give a little bit of adult information here? So, yeah we had some stories. The next one, it was around spring break time, and I remember that way back in the early 90s, another found film we had recorded at spring break one time. And I just thought it was a funny, kind of a nostalgic trip through video. And I said, screw it, it's only about 3 or 4 minutes long, I'll upload it. But my son said, hey, you need to look at it not as a 20-year-old's point of view when you were a kid, you need to look at it in today's politically correct. And so that's been privated, sorry, you guys can't see it. There's nothing really bad on it, it's just, he said it wouldn't fit in with today's world. So.
At Rockport's murderous cannibal, Dan Rakowitz.
So we did an episode over him about, and that's one of our biggest episodes ever, about a guy who went to school here and he decided to go and kill and possibly consume flesh and sell it to other people or give it away. So if you haven't seen that one, you might want to check that one out.
Yeah.
That was a pretty interesting one. And people like to see cannibalistic murders.
Who would have thought?
Nobody wants to see some of these other ones that we did.
No.
I don't know why, Vinny, but...
Speaking of, what's the next one?
The next one would be the death of the Rockport snowbird. I don't think some
more
people...
death.
I don't think some people understood what this was about. This is the true story about if you don't know what a snowbird is, that's what we usually call the people from the north that come down here and stay during the winter.
Yeah, those people.
And one of them was passing through town and it was an accident, but was killed. And this is the true story about what happened and how I first found out about it and how I encountered the person who did the shooting.
Then we had historical figures with the highest death count.
Now, this is the one I thought would take off. I thought
Yeah.
everybody would be interested in, like, hey, death. We're doing death. Everybody likes death.
Yeah,
and this
killed
one did
the
not
most?
this one did not do as well, but this was about, in history, the people that they believe had the highest counts of death on them, as in that they ordered them or they fulfilled them themselves, whatever. But, you've got certain people in mind that you think, and then there's other people that you would not put on that list because you maybe not have heard of it or you never thought about that. The next one was... personal one for me, my longtime friend, Fung, who I'd grown up with in high school and elementary and junior high and been like a brother to me. And he was actually on 1 or 2 episodes with us, one sitting right here between me and Vinny. and he unfortunately was taken tragically. And so I did a memorial for him. If you have ever lost a friend or somebody that's meant a lot to you and stuff, it'd be a nice idea for you to watch and give a thumbs up or something, because he's a really tremendous man, and the world misses him. So I did a special memorial for him. Now this is the one, you can talk about this one. We thought this one would take off because it's got like a little bit of, naughtiness to it. It's got a little bit of like headlines, tabloid stuff. It didn't do all that well. Go ahead.
Famous people with notorious rumors about them.
So these are
like Rod Stewart.
Actors, actresses, singers, anybody who's in the public eye, famous, that these things have been attached to them for years, decades, a lifetime maybe, of these rumors. The next one that we did was the murderous mayor of Ingleside. This is another true crime story that we got into, where we told the story about a little bitty town about 16 miles away and stuff, about a mayor that was found guilty of a murderous crime. So you might want to check into that.
Then we had the railroad ghosts of San Antone.
Of course, that's the old-time tale of a myth that there's ghost children that died in an accident that on a railroad.
That's where the one where they push the cars.
They push
off
the cars, yeah.
When was America great?
Now, I thought Trumpers, anti-Trumpers, vaxxers, anti-vaxxers, racist, anti-racist, sexist, anti-sexist. I would think people would just jump on board this of when we actually asked the question, when was America great? You saw a lot of people with red hats over the last 6 years, make America great again. And so we asked, when was it great? And we put time and events together, and we basically are asking you as the viewer, when was America great? Anyways, the next one, 5 days in Vegas. Now this is the worst video viewing that we've ever had.
Yeah.
I took my two sons to Las Vegas for a particular reason over the summer, and I had never been there. They had never been there. I don't smoke, drink, do drugs. Here's the reason why it's called Sin City.
Oh, this next one was Rockport's 50-year-old cold case.
So yeah, if you like true crime, go back to that episode, and we go into even more detail than Vinny just did about what the case was about, why it's never been solved, why it's been half a century. Next one, I covered a case out of Aransas Pass of a young girl. She was 13. She went missing in 1989. And we got a lot of traction with that one. A lot of comments. A lot of people were very interested. A lot of people didn't know about it. A lot of people had kind of forgot about it. It was a very, very interesting deep dive into something that it's a cold case. We still have not found her or whatever happened. About 30 years ago, there's a song called The Warrior by Scandal. And I decided that we would go ahead and I would direct a really, really poorly filmed video of one of my friends trying to play basketball against two rough thugs, and about how he eventually becomes the warrior on the basketball court. And I did one over the first time I ever got drunk. It's called the Wine Cooler True Story. And if you've ever been drunk, or you've been drunk lately, or you remember the first time you ever drunk, you might want to view that episode, because it's in depth with ceiling fans and toilets and crawling, and it's funny.
Then you had the murder of Ismael Lopez.
And that's just basically another true crime story about a no-knock by the police that came in, and they shot and killed a guy in his own house. And I basically discussed the difference between no-knock versus the castle law, where you can defend yourself. And the last one that we published was La Llorona, which is the
Wailing Woman.
The Wailing Woman. It's a Mexican folklore tale about a woman who drowned her children. And I give you the facts of the case, and also the rumors and the myths and the innuendos that have been put into it over 500 years with Mexican-American families and what they tell their children. The biggest episode that we had was easily the death of the person in front of Cinema 35 with about 1,300 views. And then the worst one was the
Vegas, baby.
27 views. There's more people than that I know right now on my phone that all they had to do is just watch a little bit of it, and that would have made me happy. But nobody wanted to watch the Vegas episode. 27. That is our low. Of the entire 4 years that we've done this, that's the lowest. In closing on this look back over season 4, we've ended 4 seasons now. Vinny's been with us for 3 seasons. We've had 80. This will be 88 episodes, and we're almost at 700 subs. So of course we always want more subs. If you can possibly just click the subscription. So many of you guys watch our videos. 88% of you watch the videos and never click subscribe. Just subscribe. So I hope that you have enjoyed this episode of the look back on season 4, and get ready for season 5. Look, I even dressed up for it. I wore a collared shirt.
I wore Tails
And-
Got
yes,
Trolled.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we dressed up for this. So remember, follow Vinny over at Gatorbox. Subscribe to his if you like video games. He knows everything there possibly is about video games ever. And if you enjoy our stuff, make sure that you subscribe. And thank you so much for being part of this. Peace out.